Good day, everyone, and for today, I'll be sharing to you the difference of audit in specialized industries to other industries. But before that, allow me to introduce first myself. I am Jocelyn Igarsola, and I'd like to give credit to my reference. We have a www.accaglobal.com. So the very question is, why is it called as specialized industry? Okay, so unsay naa kaha ani nga industry. Second one is naa ba ni siya yung mga unusual na mga accounts. And the third one is katuba ning mga businesses nga usually dili nato ma-avail or dili nato makita as consumers. Okay, so now we'll get to know what lies behind the audit of specialized industry, particularly its difference sa ubang industry. So now let us first define specialized industry. So specialized industry is not necessarily rare or even unusual. So why? Ngano kaha? Nga what makes it special nga dili man siya rare or dili siya unusual? Okay, so ang mga companies and ang mga businesses under this specialized industry is that they caters the public. So majority ani mga businesses ang ilang gipang hatag nga ilang hatag nga mga services is ang public mo ga-consume. So we have examples ng mga businesses under this specialized industry. So number one, we have airlines katong mga ganahan ka mag-travel. Second one, we have the educational institution in which we are a product ano. And third one, we have the banking and other financial institution, mga lending. Next, we have the insurance companies, the petroleum corporations, sa mining, and then we have the agriculture, and lastly, we have the different power distributors. So mo sila yung mga examples sa under the specialized industry. So the question is, what makes it special if usually the businesses we typically encounter in our lives, or it's part of our lifestyle? Okay, so now let's get to know this. So what makes this industry specialized is that, number one, they are likely either to have a specific financial reporting standards that are applicable to them, or number two, they have a distinct accounting policies which have been developed to account special transactions and balances which are based on the normally applied financial reporting standards. So most of the time, no, it requires a complex accounting, no, in which kaning mga different, let's say, example for agriculture, so naay naka-assign nila nga standard or naay naka-align intended for agriculture. We have PAS 41 agriculture. So we can tell, no, or kini sa specialized industry, it's more on personalized on that certain nga business. That's why it's part of a specialized industry. And I'd like to put into emphasis that the businesses under the specialized industries, that they really have their own specific financial reporting standards. So muna naka-differensya nila, no, from other businesses. So other industries not under the specialized industries, that they're only compliant with the BIR and the Securities and Exchange Commission. So those industries under the specialized industries, that they have their own, or it's because of their reportorial requirement. So they have their distinct accounting policies na ginasunod, or which is aligned to their industry. Moving on, let us proceed to the characteristics of specialized industry in which we can see the difference in other industries. So the first characteristic is that, number one, it is high risk. So in specialized industry, it is high risk. It's because it is vital to have the so-called public accountability. Let's say, for example, in the publicly listed corporations, it is important. So if we get to search it in Google, we get to know their financial position, their financial statements. It's because they're selling their stocks, and it is important that the investors or the individuals must know their financial position. So the individuals, they are the ones who manage the money of the individuals, and they are accountable enough as to what would happen to the money. So the individuals are expecting dividends and a high value of their stocks. So in the first characteristic, we have the high risk. It is important to have a public accountability in the audit of specialized industry. So the second characteristic in the audit of specialized industry is that they have a strict and they have several compliance. It is not just primarily compliance with the BIR and the SEC, but they need to comply with other governing bodies. Let's say, for example, our financial institution, the bank and the lendings, no, they need to comply with the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and also our insurance companies. They need to comply with the insurance commission. So in the specialized industry, they need to comply with other or the secondary compliance. So that's the thing or the difference with specialized industry to other industries. So the third characteristic in the specialized industry is that they have its complex accounting. So they do not just perform primarily substantive procedure, but they need to render a more extensive procedure in auditing. So each industry under the specialized industry, they have their own specific procedure that must be done. So they have their own disclosures and its revenue recognition. So it is really important in specialized industry to have a more extensive, because there are the public is into the information coming from the financial statements of the specialized industry. In summary, the main difference in the audit of specialized industry is that it has its own specific financial reporting standards that is applicable to them. And also, it is high risk, it is strict and has several compliance, and it is complex in nature, in which it requires extensive procedure that must be done. It's because the public is relying to the information coming from the specialized industry.